Now this was a monument dedicated to god Dionysus as the god of fertility. We have two big phallic monuments, and on the one we see the phallus bird. It's a bird, a cock obviously, which sports a phallus as a head. Now the cult of the phallus was very big here. First because it meant fertility, and second because they believed that the phallus could chase away evil. They used it as an amulet. See, this one here originally had the tip. It was broken, but it was left up there until someday they took it to the museum. And this is the monument of the last Roman emperor of Delos. You see, Delos changed many hands, from Naxos to Paros, to the Athenians, to the Macedonians and Alexander the Great, and finally it fell to the Romans. We're getting close to the big slave market. What made this island very rich was the slave trade. They would import slaves, they would actually buy them from the warlords to sell them here in auctions. And just in a few seconds you'll see the big slave market. So there, the big slave market, a big open space, once surrounded by many shops on the four sides. Only one has been reconstructed to give you an idea. The slave master would take his slaves, would go to the center of the open space, left them on a small stage so people could go and examine them from near, and then he would set a price and they would bid. Auction. Now in the shops here you can imagine slaves waiting to be traded, and to the left there was a big water fountain to provide the necessary water for the people who would gather to the slave market every day to trade slaves. Slaves could be also women and children, not only men. As when in a war they would take a town, they would get into the houses and would take everything and everybody. And according to an ancient writer, in the big slave market, 10,000 slaves would change hands there a day. But we don't believe this number, as we know that them ancient writers usually exaggerated, and some exaggerated a lot. So many, yes. Way too many, yes. But 10,000 a day, no, it's unrealistic. The fact, however, remains that people from far away, from different countries, from other islands, would come here to buy slaves. They would go to the slave market, bid, get the slaves, put them on the boat, return home. We're getting now close to the Terrace of the Lions. This was the main entrance to the slave market, and on this side there was a small temple dedicated to Leto, Apollo's mother. We see the inscription Leton, which means Temple of Leto. So the Terrace of the Lions, the most known monument of Delos. Originally there were 9, and here we have a collection of 8, a total of 8, 4 almost intact, and actually 5 almost intact, and 3 in fragments. The last one, the 9th, has been taken away by people from Venice, Italy, and today it stands in front of the arsenal in Venice. The lions would guard and protect the exact spot where Apollo was born, and that place was where you see the trees. Originally there was water until 1935, when they decided to drain it to get rid of the many mosquitoes. That's where Apollo was born.